Yep, I'm gonna make the apple pie that I made for the show Apples in Winter by Jennifer Fawcett and directed by the inimitable Jolene Moffat. We did this January 2019, and it was quite a daunting and challenging performance to do. Not only because I was the only one on stage, but because I did bake a pie in real time on stage as I told the story of this woman and her life and her son, and then I baked it on stage. So the interesting thing is that even though I worked in a kitchen for a long time, I never made a pie crust. So I had to learn how to do it. I made many pies. Even before we started rehearsal, I was baking pies at home. Then I made at least one pie a night for rehearsal, sometimes two. And we decided in rehearsal that the pie didn't necessarily have to taste good. It just had to look good. So as I was working on them, we weren't going to worry about how it tasted. But as we were baking them in rehearsal, we discovered they really did taste good. So then it was decided that at the end of every performance, somebody would win the pie. So I really did have to make a good pie. And that's what I'm gonna do right now. Okay, we have a cup of flour, and then a pinch of salt, about 5 tablespoons of very cold butter, and then it's called cutting the butter into the flour so it gets kind of crumbly, and then you scrape it out, as you go. So I had a lot of people come up to me after the performance and say that they never knew about this handy dandy tool called a pastry cutter, and I didn't know about such a thing either until I started doing this. Anyway, you just keep doing this, cutting in the butter, and it will get crumbly. And then you're gonna add some water to make a dough. So, as we did the show, I was telling the story of this woman who is actually in this commercial kitchen, as I said, and it's a kitchen in a prison. And she is there to bake an apple pie for her son, who has been on death row for many years. And this is the last request for his last meal. And so that sets the tone for the story that she's about to tell. Okay, now I add some water, a few tablespoons at a time. The recipe called for 3, but I never found that worked. I always needed a little bit more. Anyway, back to the story of the play. As I'm doing this baking and telling the story about, how my son grew up and he had a hard time with his dad and he got into trouble at a young age, and so one thing leads to another, as things do in life. And as the story goes, it gets quite emotional. It's quite a journey for the audience and for the actor playing this woman. And the thing is, you got this pie juxtaposed with this, very dark story. Okay, now you dump it out, and I put a little flour on my hands. And then you just kind of mush it together and get all the parts. And then there's going to be a top crust and a bottom, so you want to cut it into, it's not exactly even, but that's okay. And then we're going to wrap it in plastic and chill it. And as I say in the script, you may want to skip this part, but don't. So we peel 3 apples, good sized ones. If they're small, you might want 4. And tart apples are best for this. And we're going to cut them. So this was a thing that I did every night, and my knife was not nearly as sharp as this one. Okay, we add 1/4 cup sugar, some cinnamon, I like a lot, and a little bit of nutmeg. And then the recipe called for allspice, which I thought was quite innovative. So that works. I'm gonna give that a stir. We're gonna put the apples in there. Now it looks like I have way more than I'm gonna need. So, good thing I like apples. And they'll cook down. We're going to make a lattice top. Yeah, this guy goes there. Crimp these edges and get it in the oven. Here's my sous chef, Sammy. And it should be noted that I'm wearing the exact same pants and my shoes from the show. My lucky pants and my lucky shoes. So, the timer has gone off. Let's check the pie. Oh yeah. It's a pie. Just like we did every night, Apples in Winter at the Phoenix Theatre. It was a story about unconditional love. And I think an apple pie is a lovely symbol of that. So we get to eat pie tonight. Everybody stay home, stay safe and healthy, and support the Phoenix Theatre. I cannot wait till we're all together again.